Came out limping because I actually hurt myself on the steps.
Oh no! On these steps right here?
I don't know.
Like you just hurt yourself right now?
I tripped.
Why are you tripping?
What?
I'm
Why you tripping, man?
I'm tripping. I don't know what's going on. How you guys doing?
What's up, everybody?
What's going on? What's going on, y'all? It's a live crowd.
Yeah, like I just got here. Like literally just got here. I don't know if you
Listen
guys
to
heard
the
about the whole
story.
CrowdStrike thing that's like taking down the entire world. Yeah, I was stuck at the Atlanta airport for 6 hours. So
Nice.
yeah,
That's a fun place to
I got
be.
here 2 hours ago after having left last night at like 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And
Welcome to
yeah.
Ohio.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
But that's crazy. The whole everything shut down. No purchases can be
Completely
made.
shut down.
That's like a little tip of the apocalypse we got to taste the moment. What if that happened on a grander scale?
You know what it's like? It's like when they were all scared of Y2K happening
Yes.
back in year 2000. Like for those of you who are young and don't remember that, everybody thought that when it switched over to the new millennium, that all the computers were going to freak out and do what happened pretty much today, and it didn't happen. But I mean, it happened today,
Yeah.
kind of.
So like you were in the heart of it in the airport. Were people freaking out? Like what was it
Yeah,
like?
because like nobody knew when they were gonna get on a flight, or even if a flight was gonna happen.
Scary.
I couldn't even find out what gate I was supposed to be at or when my flight was leaving. When I tried to go to the lounge, they couldn't even, like there was a line all the way down the terminal because like they had to check people in by hand.
Wow.
It was crazy. And then I tried to call Delta to try to find out like what, I wanted to talk to somebody. And they said, your hold time will be approximately 6 hours and 45 minutes. I was like, well, I might as well just hang up.
Well, dude, we're lucky that you made it. That you're both here. Of
I
course.
was just scared of missing this panel because I haven't seen Nachi in like
that's what
years.
my grandma told me about it, and you know, I was a little nervous because I was afraid that a lot of people weren't gonna make it. Is this mic on? Yeah, okay. A lot of people weren't gonna make it, and you know, luckily that things got handled and people made it safely here. You know, but yeah, these flights get crazy. These delays get crazy. I just got delayed 3 times last weekend, so I know that life, and it is tragic. It is hectic.
It's crazy.
Well, yo, and it's funny that you said that you're happy to see Najee. That's one of the things I was going to ask you.
And
If you
I'm
guys have
happy to
met
see
before,
Josh, too,
and
yes, 'cause
when was the
we-
last time? Yeah, when was the last time we saw each other?
Last time we saw it, we were just trying to figure it out, but I think it was, it might have been at
It's
a
day
con.
one.
It
You
might have
might-
been at a con, but it might have also been at Bang Zoom for some other project where
When
we just saw each
first
other in the
met,
lobby.
You know, I was probably like 18,
Yeah.
19, 20. I'm 27 now.
Yeah, no, it was a
So,
while
yeah,
ago. It was a
yeah,
while
like,
ago. I mean,
yeah,
we've seen
you-
each other since then, but I remember meeting you, and you were.
right.
I mean, you were like a kid.
Yeah,
It
bro.
was-
Yeah, bro. I was a baby when we first met. So
Yeah.
it's just crazy the history that we got, and how world just keeps coming back around, and you keep seeing the familiar great faces. You know what I mean? That you got a connection with. So you can't ask for anything better.
That's actually one of the reasons why I really love these cons, is because it gives us a chance to reconnect with our friends and colleagues, because ever since COVID, so much recording has gone remote, and we're just like in our own home studios that we never see anybody anymore. Like we used to do these big cast records for animated series where, they'd schedule all of us to come in and we'd do it like a radio play, and it would be great. Like everybody would have this energy going through the whole cast, and now that's kind of gone. We're just at home. We walk into our box, and then we come out of our box and we're still at home.
It definitely makes voice acting a little different when you can't react to somebody right in face to face. You can feed off of their reactions and things like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. You're just kind of just stuck, wall to wall. It's kind of psychotic.
It is. You're screaming in a box.
Neighbors are probably like, "What is wrong with this guy?"
And,
But
and depending on like who's recorded yet, you might not even have a response
That's true.
recorded
Right.
because you're the first in the booth. So it's like you're reacting to your own imagination.
Voice directors have always been like a huge staple of our industry, but now we depend on them so much more because they have to be everybody to everybody.
Yeah.
Like they literally have to know exactly how that actor would play that thing and do their best to kind of convey the sense of that without trying to just like do an imitation of them, because then that would get kind of distracting. But they kind of have to give you the same energy that actor would give, so that they can elicit your performance.
Of course.
And it's I mean, I have such huge respect for them.
Yes,
even more so
and
now.
That is something that we actually talked about. Fred Tatasciore and I was talking about it last week. Voice directors are not appreciated as much as they should, because they are the ones that are giving us the direction, the environment, the movement of how this scene should be played out. And my voice director Chris Zimmerman, if you're watching this, she's been around for as long as the Jetsons,
Hanna-Barbera.
Yes, Hanna-Barbera. She was, one of the original casting voice directors for that as well too. So Chris Zimmerman, I love you, Mama Chris. If you're watching, if this
I
is
love
on
you
YouTube,
too, Chris.
Yes, we love you to death. So
I took my first voiceover class with Chris when I was like 9 years old.
Wow, yeah.
When I was 9 years old.
Is that when you got started? When you were 9?
I got
That's
well. No,
wild.
I started out as a child actor, so I've been kind of in the business since I was like 5. I joined the union at 5. But
dope
yeah, like when I was 9, I wanted to do voiceover, and my parents put me in this class with her and Charlie Adler. You met Charlie Adler?
Yeah.
So it was the two of them that were teaching this class. And Charlie was wildly inappropriate, and 9-year-old me loved every second of it. Just the curse words that flew out of his mouth were something that would just.
Y'all like cow and chicken, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so that's I've known Chris forever, and she's fantastic.
Wow.
She's fantastic. She's directed me in a ton of stuff, and
It's Mama Chris.
Yeah.
Chris. Shout out to Mama Chris.
always got to trust Chris.
Oh yeah.
Because there have been
Please.
some times where like I've thought it was good, like that I should play the scene a certain way, and she'll give me direction, and I won't understand it. Like I'll be like, really? I'm like, but I feel like the character, but I go with it, and then when I'm done, I'm like, how did I not see that? That makes so much more sense than what I was doing.
It's been times me and her have like gone back. Okay, try it your way, and then try it mine, and then we'll go back and forth,
Yeah.
and then we'll let other people pick. And we've gone back and forth, and yeah, it's been her way. Sometimes it's a little bit mine, and then we tweak it to have a little bit of hers. So we'll combine ours together, and yeah, it's magic, bro. Like she's magic. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, as far as let's talk about Spider-Man now, and you're talking about being able to make your own choices and bring your own personality to the character, and this goes to both of you. How much of the characters of Peter and of Miles has been your own influence, and then how much has been the influence of like the director or someone who's been in charge?
Well, the thing I always say about people like characters that are really established with like a really long canon is that you can kind of put your own spin on it, but there's kind of a sandbox you have to play in order for it to be that character. Otherwise, it's something else. So there's definitely like character beats that I had to hit as Peter, but a lot of them I felt like I identified with. Like I mean, wearing a NASA shirt. I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid, like, and I still would love to go to space. But I was a science geek. I was a science geek like Peter. I got bullied and beat up on in high school when I was like junior high all the way through high school. I was shorter than everybody. I was a nerd. I was not popular, but I was also an actor. So I had this whole other life. Like when I went back to school, I would get dumped on, and then I would leave and I would go hang out with like my friends from acting and the entertainment industry. And it wasn't that way. Like I felt confident. I felt like I could do anything. Right. And then I'd go back to school and I'd be Peter Parker again. So it's there was a lot of like basically me going through and being Peter Parker in Spectacular Spider-Man and pretty much everything else that I've done him in has been me kind of working out my high school trauma and bringing that to light. So there's definitely a lot of myself in that, because I feel like a lot of his experience, aside from the spider powers, but having to live that double life where one you don't feel confident and the other you do, right. That was very, very close to my own, for sure.
Very cool. Najee?
Yeah, likewise. I want to say Miles was a new character, coming about. So, it was about learning his journey, and I started him off young, and working with Josh. I started Miles as a 13-year-old, and I was maybe like 19, 20 at that time, well 18, 19, 20, and I had to put my voice up in a higher pitch. Play a 13-year-old. It was like really, really high. I had to drink 4 teas every session, and I was just praying that my voice wouldn't crack. So I was playing him as a baby, but at the same time he was a brainiac. He was a science geek as well, but he was a genius. He was 13 in high school. So so just playing him as a brainiac kid and playing his intelligence to groom him into the superhero that he becomes. You know, it was definitely a journey because it was a building process. It was going through puberty. It was going through, you know, him losing, you know, his dad essentially. It was him going through his high school, him meeting his mentor and his big bro Pete, you know, and seeing that his challenges and his triumphs and tribulations. So, you know, Miles was a journey of personal growth and then also character growth as well too, because I kind of put my own personal, you know, experiences of being raised by only mom, and you know, just being an only child as well too. So I kind of went through a lot of challenges in life as well that Miles kind of faced throughout the game, you know, with villains and being by himself and just new challenges with Pete and just, you know, older friends and having uncles in my life that would guide me through life was kind of like my Pete, you know. So putting those two parallels together kind of made me, you know, the Miles that I am today.
For sure. And just to add on to that, how much did working with Yuri Lowenthal help to cultivate that growth?
Man, oh man, Yuri's big bro for life, man. Seriously, I mean, like I said, I've seen different versions of Pete, and each version has they've all had their own diverse, like, just input on how they've interacted with their personal encounter with Pete. You know, so we all have an inner Miles, we all have an inner Pete, and we've all seen it come through each actor. You know what I mean? So, you know, there's another Miles as well too. So another Miles is as well has his own personal background of how he wants to, you know, portray Miles. So Yuri portrays, you know, his Pete through his younger days, and he has a crazy story about, you know, I always adore Yuri about, you know, him living in Japan for 3 years, as, you know, when he was in his 20s, you know, during college life. He's had a wild, you know, 20s, you know, to me. So he kind of puts that into, you know, what he's doing now, and I kind of see his younger self coming through, you know, his actions as well too. So, you know, just seeing different, you know, just different versions of this Pete, you know, kind of makes me have different versions of Miles come through. So, man, it's just been a great journey seeing different versions, and of course we'll be off scene with Toby and Andrew and now Tom, you know, what we've seen their different versions of their, you know, inner Pete as well too. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've had like a OG type of, like, original, then we've had like a younger version, then we've had like a cooler version. So we've had, you know, different types and, you know, different flavors of a Pete. So I think that's all it is, because anyone could wear the mask. So
yeah,
you know,
that's true. Yep. I wanted to ask you, just aside from Spider-Man, you guys have abundance of talent. You know what I mean? From singing and dancing and being in boy bands, and you're a dancer as well. How do you play into using those characteristics about yourself in the booth and when you're portraying Spider-Man? Because obviously he's very agile and moves, and you know what I mean?
The energy, for sure.
Yeah.
I'd say that singing has probably been one of the things that has helped me the most in voiceover. And for anybody that wants to get into voiceover, sing. Like, even if you think you suck, even if whatever level you're at, just do it. Because it's like yoga for your voice. It helps with your ear. It helps with your pitch. It helps with your breath control. It helps with your range. It helps with so many things. But especially for things like dubbing, where you have to kind of like, or ADR. ADR is where you might have recorded the scene already, the animation comes back, and they need you to kind of like match a different performance, but in a certain timing. And that's hard for a lot of people. A lot of people really have a hard time being able to look at a screen and be able to kind of chase that lip flap and animation and movement and be able to do that kind of on the spot in real time. But that's been so easy for me as a singer, because I'm used to going in and recording a song and having to like double background vocals, where I'm basically like singing essentially the same part 4 or 5 times. that all have to kind of sit in the same pocket.
Yeah, and I don't know if they had Vocaline back then.
They didn't have Vocaline back
You know what
then.
I mean?
And
Now
even
you
then,
can just
like, it's,
plug it in and it aligns itself.
I hate using it anyway
Yeah.
because it's like there's something, it feels computery, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it doesn't, there's an imperfection that makes it sound fuller,
Mm-hmm.
and when everything is too lined up, it sounds like a computer. It sounds like you played it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's having that skill has been a game changer for me anyway, because it's just made that stuff trivially easy.
Right.
For fight scenes, you know, because that's the one thing that you'll have to do, and you'll go back and you'll do ADR on fight scenes, because they don't really do the sounds for those ahead of time because they don't know how it's going to come back, you know. And you want to watch that scene once, and you're like, okay, I get hit here in the face, and now I get punched in the stomach. Now I dodge over this way, and then I jump this way, and then I have to grab this or whatever, and then you have to do it all in real time.
Yeah.
But
And Najee, a lot of what you did was mocap, right?
Yes, sir.
So how much, again, I know you were a dancer, and how much did that play a role in you having to portray? Because you're doing it like in real time, like
Yeah,
with
man.
dots and all this stuff on you. So how did that play a role, and was it easier, harder? What were the challenges?
For sure. Challenges. Man, that suit is super tight. Oh my gosh, that suit is super tight, bro. It's crazy. But
hides nothing.
Man, like, nothing at all. And then it has to be a smaller size on you. On top of the people don't know that, like the mocap suit, it doesn't have to fit you. It has to be essentially smaller.
Can't be baggy.
No, it cannot be baggy at all. So it has to be a smaller size, a smaller size than your regular size. So it's super tight and it's super small. So the shirt stops, right around above your wrist. Then it's like high water. It's the whole thing. But the
And
challenge
the gear you're wearing too, all the packs and
the
helmet.
packs and the helmet. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's like Iron Man crackhead suit. It's crazy. It's bad. It's bad. But the challenge is, I mean, of course we have all the gear on. But the perks of it is, yeah, I mean, when it comes to the movement and when it comes to just the fast pace of action that this game requires, we're locked in. You know what I mean? Like we're locked in. Like it's like we shut off everything else that distracts us, and we get into that mode of this is real life. Like these are actual gunshots being shot at us. We're like really into it. So with the volume, it's as big as this room. I want to say maybe yeah probably as big as this room. It's probably 100 cameras on top of the roof, on the wall, and on like on each wall. So and then there's just cameras essentially this way. So there's cameras everywhere in a big room just like this, and it gives you just room just to run around. They have boxes. They're saying that this is a building, this is a car, and you get to run around and just jump around and act like it's an obstacle course. But it's a whole world, and it's a whole open world. So the challenges are using your imagination, and I guess the perks are just being a big kid and just getting to run around and just have fun. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Spectacular Spider-Man.
All right.
And it had 2 amazing seasons.
Yes.
And it kind of ended on somewhat of a cliffhanger.
Somewhat.
Yeah, well, definitely a huge cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Where would you have liked to see the story go had it been picked up for season 3?
Well, Greg had 5 seasons planned out.
And you already knew about them and had...
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, he had them outlined. Like, they had introduced characters in season 2. Greg doesn't do anything by accident. So if you see Cletus Cassidy in season 2, which you did, then you're going to see Carnage later on. If you saw Morris Bench, you were probably going to see Hydra Man. If you saw Roderick Kingsley, you were probably going to see Hobgoblin. Like, there was just a bunch of people that he had already kind of previewed. Interestingly enough, you saw Stan Carter and Gene DeWolf. I don't think he was going to do the Sin Eater arc in Spectacular. But yeah, I mean, he had a bunch of seasons already planned out. The way he said it was going to go was that each season was going to be a year from his life, from his high school life, and then it was going to end with him graduating high school. And then, like, his long-term plan, he wanted to do like a series of just kind of direct-to-video movies that would kind of be him in college, and then maybe in those he could tackle some of the more mature themed Peter storylines. Right. So, I mean, he had a lot more left in him that he wanted to do. Unfortunately, just when Disney bought Marvel and Sony still owned the rights to Spectacular Spider-Man, but Disney owned the rights to the character. So in order for Disney to keep making the show, they would have had to license the show from Sony and pay them. But they're like, we own the rights to the character. We're not going to pay you to make a Spider-Man show. Right. So they made their own. But yeah, that's pretty much how it went down. I don't know how, or I don't think it can come back in that form. Right. Interestingly enough, Greg is writing a Spectacular Spider-Man comic that has Miles in it. And I've been kind of like making little motion comics for him, just kind of as a favor, just, for fun. And I've been getting some of the original people to voice in it. Lacey was in it. We couldn't get John because he's busy, DiMaggio, so I've been filling in as Hammerhead. Which is crazy.
Did y'all get a Miles?
Yeah, DiMaggio.
Did y'all get a Miles in?
Actually, we already started doing it, and Greg had somebody, but I floated your name, but he had already reached out to somebody. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, but we got to get you in there or something.
That is crazy.
This is like the Miles equivalent of Parker Luck, I want to say. This is Miles Luck.
Did y'all hear that? Live on stage.
It wasn't in my hands.
That is crazy.
You should have asked me about this off stage, man. This is embarrassing.
That's what I'm like, bro. What,
you know what I mean?
Can
you edit this out? Edit it out.
Man, am I red
many
right
questions.
now?
I'm going to ask you out right now. There's so many questions I ask you.
I didn't cast it.
That is crazy. I think this is a perfect opportunity now to thank you both for being here. And now let's try to get some questions from the audience.
I was going to say, I was like, is this done already?
No way. We have plenty of time left. We have a microphone over there. If you guys have any questions, you can go on up, step up to the mic, ask your question, and then we'll get as many questions in as we can. If you don't get a chance to ask here, you can, of course, visit them down at their table. The mic is right over there. There you go. All right, so step on up. What's your name and what's your question?
I am Ben.
Here, just turn the microphone up toward you. There you go.
My name is Ben.
All right, hello.
So yeah, Naji Jetter.
Can we get the audience mic and the monitors, please? Thank you.
Will you be in the third Spider-Man game, like the next one?
Will there be one?
Because it's in development.
If it's in development, is that your question?
Yeah.
Ooh, oh man.
I would hope so.
Are those 3 windows up there? I see up there. Who's up there watching us up there? I see 3 people up there watching us up there. I don't know, man. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Because I've played the Spider-Man games.
Oh yeah. Did you beat the second one?
Yeah, I beat Spider-Man 2.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yes. Stay tuned, brother.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'll see Carnage.
Stay tuned, brother.
Green Goblin.
Yeah. What's your name?
Ben.
Ben. Nice to meet you, Ben.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, brother.
Thank you, Ben. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Brandon.
You're welcome.
I got you, bro.
All right. Hey, what's up? What's your name? What's your question?
Hi, my name's Evan, and my question goes to Josh Keaton.
What's up, Evan?
Through the time you recorded for Spectacular Spider-Man, what episode did you enjoy recording the most?
What did I enjoy recording the most? I would probably say it was episode, is it 12 of season 1, the intervention? It's the black and white episode where he's basically kind of fighting against the symbiote in his brain. And I loved how grounded and how dramatic like the writing was for it, and how it, because our show didn't really start with an origin. It kind of hit the ground running with Peter already being Spider-Man, so that was like our shot to do the origin story, and that was super fun. I would also say the other one that was really fun for me was the first Black Cat episode, and for just totally different reasons. Basically, I didn't know that Trish Helfer was going to be Black Cat.
Okay.
And when she actually showed up to the recording session, she literally showed up on a Harley in like full like black motorcycle leathers with the black helmet.
Really?
And it was crazy. Like she took off the helmet and like literally just slow motion blonde hair cascading. It was crazy because I always had a crush on her, and like I was like, what is happening right now? This is crazy. Okay. So like the kind of uncomfortableness, but like enjoying the uncomfortableness dynamic that we had in the booth was like 100% real.
Yeah, you're like blushing right now.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. I was not expecting that at all. But
All right. Thank you so much for your question.
You're welcome. Thank you for answering it.
thanks.
All right. Hi. What's your name? What's your question?
This hat is crazy.
Thank you very much. Do you recognize this? Shadow the Hedgehog.
I see.
Cool, very cool.
Yep. So my name is John Leone. I am an aspiring voice actor.
Okay.
I took a class. I'm taking another one. The first class was with Lisa Justwayne, and the one that I'm taking now is with Danny Jacobs.
Okay.
Yeah, he did like King Julian in the Penguins of Madagascar
Yeah,
show.
Danny's great. Danny's a good dude.
So usually like I have like a million questions I'd like to ask you guys, but
Pick your favorite one.
Yes. Exactly. Thank you. So, what would be the best piece of advice to give to somebody who is trying to get into voiceover and like really wants to excel in voice acting and just really like turn that into a career?
I want to say always be aware of your environment. It's not just script reading. It's not just standing in front of a mic, reading, lines off a page. You want to be aware of your surroundings. You want to be aware of your movement. You want to be aware of your breathing, of how you're talking, moving around. So voice acting essentially is not just voice acting. It's acting in general. It's just, you don't have maybe a camera in front of you. So it's just acting, in general. So if you're getting into it, don't think of it as, okay, let me get 20 different voices. Yes, it's good to have 20 different voices, but have some structure and have some some end goals with your character that you're developing, if that makes sense.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually very close to what I was going to say. So awesome, Najee. No, that's fantastic advice. It is just acting, yeah. I mean, to piggyback on what Najee was saying, like it's it's not enough to be able to like quip out a bunch of one-liners in a bunch of different voices. You need to be able to inhabit that character. You need to be able, like Bob Bergen, who does a bunch of Looney Tunes voices, and he's a legacy actor. He's been around forever. He says, you have to be able to sing in that voice. You need to be able to do Shakespeare in that voice. You need to be able to, like, I don't know, go through a divorce in that voice, like whatever the script calls for. You have to be in that character. So it's not just about doing funny voices. I would say, along with that, take an improv class. You need to be able to think on your feet. And then read out loud as often as possible. Because, I mean, Najee will tell you, we don't get a lot of time to prepare. We'll get a script, and we got like 5 minutes, and we have to now make it come up off the page as if those words came out of our head and they're not just words on a page. And the only way you do that is just by getting comfortable with text and really being able to look at something, analyze it really, really quickly, and bring it to life.
We actually did something like that in our first class, where like we would take like for example a Jets Pizza ad and like read it off.
Yeah.
Like different voices.
To see what your first instincts are.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, the more of that you can
read.
do, cold reading is probably one of the most essential skills in voiceover. Because like I said, we don't get a lot of time to prepare. It's not like auditioning for a movie role and even that, like you have a very truncated timetable now that they have us do self-tapes instead of going into audition. So yeah, I mean, like they'll say, yeah, we want a self-tape, and you got to put yourself on tape and find a reader, and you got like 2 days. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
What's your name, man?
My name is John.
Nice to meet you, John.
Nice to meet you, man.
John, thank you so much.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right. Hi. What's your name? What's your question?
My name is Aiden, and my question is, besides yourselves, who's your favorite Spider-Man?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I want to say Spider-Punk. Spider-Punk.
That's a good one.
Spider-Punk.
I was not even thinking. I don't know why I just had Peter Parker's in my head. That's shame on me, man. Yes, I mean, Spider-Punk was holding it down in that last movie, man. Like he kind of stole the show. That was, yeah. He had just a cool vibe and the shoes and yeah. No, he was a whole vibe. I might have to go with Spider-Punk too, but I would say in terms of like, oh man, it's tough. It's tough because I'm friends with Dan Gilvezan from the '80s one, and he was always really fun. It's tough, man. Like Najee was saying before, everybody brings their own vibe to it. Everybody brings their own personal experiences to it. It's yeah. You know what, Najee's my favorite Spider-Man. 100%. 100%. Najee's my favorite
I
Spider-Man.
was hoping that was gonna be there.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, my name is
Hello,
Jesse.
sir.
And my question is, if either of you two could play a different comic book character, like you could cast yourself as any comic book character, who would it be? And what would you bring to the table of that character?
The Punisher.
Oh, that'd be cool. I'd love to
The
hear
Punisher.
I feel like Deadpool would be too on the nose because, you know, I've already played a very quippy person and I did a bunch of videos reading Spider-Man memes, which was pretty much Deadpool, essentially. So I feel like that would be a little on the nose. I don't know, maybe I'd like to try my hand at like a Superman or Batman. You know, I don't know. I think that would be fun. Maybe Batman.
It could work.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I could surprise you. Yeah. There'd be. I mean, look at Robert Pattinson, man. He's actually become my favorite Batman. Well, nobody's touching Kevin Conroy, but in live action, he's become my favorite Batman. I was not expecting that at all. I thought he was great. I thought he was fantastic. I can't either.
Yeah, typecasting can. It's not the best thing. There are people that can surprise you.
Absolutely. It's those out of the box performances that are like usually the really memorable ones. So, yeah.
Just remember, people were rolling their eyes at the idea of Luke Skywalker playing the Joker, and look what happened.
He's one of the best Jokers. Yeah,
man.
Absolutely.
What's your name?
Jesse.
Jesse. Nice to meet you, Jesse.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Jesse.
it.
Man.
All right, we got about 9 minutes left here, so let's ask our questions. Hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Sorry, give me a sec.
Don't reveal your identity.
Fix the mask.
Yeah,
Fix the
I'm
mask.
Donovan. I just revealed my identity. Sorry. I just wanted to ask you, what was your favorite Spider-Man villain?
My favorite Spider-Man villain, man. I want to say, I know it sounds cliche. I'm gonna have to go with Venom, man. Venom is one of those.
Definitely.
Yeah, Venom. Yeah, Venom is one of those guys. It's like we all have our own inner Venom. You know, I want to say, and Venom is one of those guys you gotta love, but then you gotta hate at the same time. It's like you love him, but you hate him. You know, it's like, why are you so cool, but why are you so disgusting? You know, it's like, bro, how are you at both at the same time? What's your favorite Spider-Man villain?
Mine is, it used to be Dr. Octopus.
Okay.
He's really nerdy, so I like him. I have to go with Venom now, though. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've always liked Venom a lot. He just recently became my favorite.
Yeah.
Can you
Venom
hear
is
me?
Venom is
Sorry.
crazy. Venom is crazy.
Oh, no, we hear you great, man. You're doing great.
Yeah, I can-
No, you're good.
Yeah.
You can talk through the mask.
Yeah,
too,
you
man.
can.
You're good.
It'll pick you up.
I can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to that. I think you
Look
actually
at that.
sound
I
clearer through the
hear you
mask, to be
sound.
honest, you know.
Look at that.
I would say for me it would be Green Goblin.
Yeah.
And mainly because I really like messed up like character relationship dynamics.
Yeah.
And the fact that like Norman kind of just like completely dumps on his son, but he likes Peter, but he doesn't
Yeah.
like Spider-Man, and then like so now the son's jealous of Spider-Man, but he's friends with Peter. Like it has just such a weird messed up dynamic
Yeah,
that I
definitely.
love it. I love it because I'm weird like that. But yeah, I mean, and in our show, like he broke his own son's leg to hide the fact that he was Green Goblin. He like framed
remember
his own
that.
son and broke
Yep.
his own son. Like that. It's just so messed up. Like I can't
Yeah.
believe they even did that on our show. And honestly, I this wasn't even one that was on the radar for me because like for the longest time, Tombstone was just kind of like a C-list thug. But our show couldn't use Kingpin because it was part of the Daredevil license.
Yeah, definitely.
So they basically turned Tombstone into our Kingpin. And basically it started out with Keith David acting him, but we had scheduling problems, so it ended up being Kevin Michael Richardson, but it was essentially him doing a Keith David alike. And I love what they did with him. I love what they did with Tombstone. I feel like I want to see him in more stuff. In that way, because they really gave him like this huge villain glow up where he's like this formidable force and super classy and super like got this cool vibe, but he's like deadly scary. Like he's super cool. So
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Well, thank you for your question. We have about 5 minutes left, so we're going to do a lightning round. We're going to have
Lightning
quick questions, quick answers, and then we're going to hopefully get to the end of the line. No new additions to the line. Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
So like, what are your like favorite like voice lines you've said, like in like your show and movie?
Okay, I can do this one real quick. My favorite one in Spectacular Spider-Man was the one where he's fighting the Rhino and he gets a traffic cone on the Rhino's horn and says, "Hey, I got the thing on the thing. What do I win?" And Rhino goes, "You." And he's like, "I win me?" That makes no sense. That was my favorite line in the show.
I want to say my favorite line in the game, a hero is someone who doesn't give up. Something is very inspiring, but it wasn't as funny as Josh is over here. But yeah, thank you, man.
Awesome. Thank you for your question.
That's the balance of Spider-Man,
All right.
is that inspirational and the funny, for sure.
All right, what's your name and your question?
Hi, I'm Giovanni. I met both of you earlier.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good,
How's it
good.
going?
My question is that between both your Spider-Mans, who would win in a fight? Because Peter got the gadgets, but Miles got the bioelectricity. So
Oh,
It's like sensei versus student, man. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It's like Mr. Miyagi versus the Karate Kid. I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. That bioelectricity is kind of overpowered.
I don't know, man. It's Mr. Miyagi versus Karate Kid, bro. I don't know.
It's tough. That's a tough one. That's tough.
It's Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
He's gonna get his butt kicked. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
It'd be like the
Mr.
unstoppable
Miyagi.
force meeting the immovable object, and then
It's like student versus teacher, man. It's like you can't do it.
I think the universe would just cease to exist at that point.
Exactly. The world is gonna end.
It would be a different canon event, and
What is going on?
That universe would go kaput.
No, wouldn't happen.
All right, thank you so much for
Thank
your
you,
question.
man.
All right, hi.
Hey.
My name's Connor. Josh and I already talked earlier.
Hey, Connor.
And my question is, what's your favorite non-Spider-Man related voice role?
Probably Shiro from Voltron. I really, really loved playing his character for sure.
Probably Sam from The Last of Us. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Thank you, Connor.
All right, hi.
Hi, I'm Carter.
Carter.
Josh already met earlier.
How's it going?
I like that shirt, man.
Yeah, I know. Representing,
Yeah.
Anyways, I hear a lot of praise about the live-action Spider-Man suits because of the intricate design of them all, and I know personally of those, the Andrew Garfield's second movie suit is my favorite. But I think that there is a lot of great work put into the animated designs.
Yeah.
Because there's so much you can do in animation that you just can't do in live action. So I'm wondering what your favorite animated suit would be.
2020 suit. Yeah.
I would say my favorite would be the Venom, the symbiote suit in Spectacular Spider-Man, because it evolves the more it gets into Peter's head. So it kind of first starts out as like the movie suit from Tobey's movies, where it's, you see the webbing on the suit and the spider is kind of small. And then it starts evolving more into like where the webs kind of start shrinking and the spider starts getting bigger, and then it morphs into like the full McFarlane, wraparound, where it's just completely encircling him and there's no more webs on the suit. I love that they were able to do that. Like you said, they were able to do that in animation. And so I dug that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
All right,
Carter.
hi.
Hi, my name is Taychana.
You can tilt it down.
Hey.
There you go.
What's up?
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Najee, what if you played as a villain?
What if I played as a villain?
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be bad. Y'all don't want to see me as a villain.
You have a great voice for it, though, man. Like your natural speaking voice.
I have a villainous voice.
You can though, because it's got like this.
no.
It's just got like a deep confidence.
Oh God.
I'm telling you, man.
You talk like this.
It'd be great.
I don't know. If I was a villain, I don't know. I'd probably be a vampire. I don't know. I don't know. Vampires are pretty cool to me. I like The Lost Boys. That was one of my favorite movies growing up. You know, it's a movie about teenage vampire boys. I thought they were cool. So probably a vampire. And I like Blade too. You know, Blade is pretty awesome. So if I was a villain, I'd probably be a vampire. I'd probably be a vampire guy. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your question.
What's your name? Tell us your name again.
My name is Tatiana.
Oh, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
I
Thank
see
you so
y'all.
much.
Okay.
Okay, that's a question for
Uh-oh.
Najee.
Uh-oh.
Well, you probably ain't gonna know the.
Go ahead.
Will it be another Spider-Man 3, but it might not be Spider-Man, it might be Miles?
Ooh, you gotta
Because
stay
remember,
tuned.
Spider-Man retired.
They're trying to get you in trouble.
Family Man?
I know. Did you play the second game? Did you complete
I
it?
beat it. Look, I was on my deathbed. Wow. My heart and everything was messed up.
So
while I
if you
it.
beat the game, you gotta stay tuned.
Thank you
gotta
so much. Stay tuned. Stay
okay?
tuned.
All right.
And thank
I'll
you.
see
everyone.
y'all.
Yeah, this is great. You guys all turned out for the Spider-Man panel. Thank you guys
Yes.
so much. If you didn't get to ask your question here, of course,
come to our
you'll
table.
be here all
Yeah,
weekend
we'll be at our
long.
tables.
Yes.
So
Yeah, all
visit them
weekend.
at the table one more time. Big round of applause for Najee Jeter
Thank
and
you
Josh
so
Keaton.
much.
Thank
My
you,
boy
everybody.
Josh.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, we're gonna do a
Come
stage
see us at the
selfie.
table.
Yep.
So if
Let's
you
do
guys
it.
don't mind standing at the edge of the stage, and everybody.